day, everyone. We are from Group 5 and we are about to discuss the situated learning theory. But before that, let's know first who are the proponents of this theory. Jean Lave is a social anthropologist and learning theorist who believes that learning is a social process as opposed to a cognitive one. In this way, Jean Lave challenges the conventional understanding that learning is best achieved through teaching activities in, for example, a school setting. The second component of the situated learning theory is Etienne Wenger. Etienne Wenger is a prominent Swiss educational theorist who has made substantial contribution to the study of learning and knowledge management.
So, what are the underpinning principles of this theory? So first bullet is, people's ideas and actions are generalization of what is adapted from the ongoing environment. So the ideas and actions daw ng mga learners is affected by the environment kung saan sila naroroon. So second bullet is, what people learn, see, and do is situated in their role in the community. As what I've said, yung ideas and actions nila is the product of what they see, what they learn, and what they do inside the community. So third is, studies how people create and interpret description or representation of what they do. So for example is, yung barangay namin has a poor performance because of the barangay chairman. So what I see, what I learn, and what I do is affected by the environment kung saan ako nakatira or saan ako naroroon. So anong gagawin ko? From what I learned, yung performance ng barangay namin is poor because of the barangay chairman. So I act. So ang action ko is, ano ba ang gagawin ko next halalan? Should I vote the same barangay chairman or should I vote the deserving one? So ang action ko is, I will vote the other chairman or the other candidate because they deserve more because they have the capacity to change the barangay, to make it better or to improve the barangay. So next is, learners achieve a gradual acquisition of knowledge and skills and move from being novices to experts. For example is si midwives. Dati ang mga tao is hindi sila umaasa sa mga doctor or nurses because wala naman ganon. So dati ang novices, which is the inexperienced, sila lang ang nagtatawid buhay, lalo na sa mga nanganganak sa bahay. Ngayon we do have the facilities na to catered yung mga nanganganak. So dati novices, as time goes by, nagiging expert sila. And lastly, suggest that interaction with other people creates structures that are individual mental representations but rather participation frames which are less rigid and more adaptive. So, what would be the best activities under this theory? So, we have 4. So, field trips, internships, laboratories, physical education activities. So, these activities is associated sa engagement ng learners sa situation or sa environment. Sa field trips, it provides more experiences like sa mga Enchanted Kingdom. Internships, mag-practice mo sa field before ka magtrabaho or graduate. Laboratories, it lets you use the tools and equipment. And physical education activities like music and sports that allows you to learn while doing the specific activity. So these activities provide more experiences, so the knowledge acquisition is better.
Okay, so now pupunta naman tayo sa what scientific competency does it apply to? So, naganap kami sa matatag curriculum and we found out na doon sa grade 8 4th quarter, which is yung topic nila is yung physics, which is force, motion, and energy. So, the scientific competency niyo nakalagay, observe and describe examples of accelerating objects at school and in the local community, including objects that show uniform circular motion. So from the word na nakalagay na observe and describe example, so with the help of observing and i-describe ng mga bata kung ano yung nasa paligid nila na merong circular motion. For example, yung electric fan, yung blade nun, meron yung circular motion. So pwedeng ibigay ng mga bata yung example na electric fan bilang sample na uniform circular motion. So next, identify examples of everyday situation that demonstrate A. Kinetic energy being transformed to potential energy and B. Potential energy being transformed to kinetic energy. So, pagbibigay sila ng mga example sa everyday situation na ginagawa nila. For example, kung ako yung student, pwede kong mabigay na if umaakyat ako sa isang uphill na road, yun yung tinatawag nating potential energy. So, kailangan natin mag-exert ng force para makaakyat sa uphill na ito. And then, pag pababa naman sila, pwedeng ma-turn yung potential energy into kinetic energy. So, yun yung pwede nilang ibigay na example sa everyday situation na ginagawa nila. So next, describe conservation of energy in everyday situation involving gravity, such as when objects fall. So, pwede natin ipa-explain sa mga bata yung everyday na nangyayari sa pang-araw-araw na buhay nila, including yung gravity kapag mabagsak yung object. So, ngayon, kapag pinagawa natin ito sa mga bata, mabubuo yung thought na kapag naglalaro sila ng batuhang bola, yung object or yung bola na yun is hindi pag-fly padiretso. So, merong gravity, including the gravity. So, yung bola is parabola yung shape niya. So, yun yung pwede natin gawin na example sa everyday situation na ginagawa nila. So next, gather information from secondary sources to explain how potential energy stored in lakes and dams in the Philippines is used to produce kinetic energy to generate electricity for use in homes, communities, and industry. So from the word na gather information, so magtatanong-tanong sila sa mga tao, mainly yung mga expert, yung mga, it could be engineer and hydrologist, na kung saan masasabi sa kanila or makukuha nila yung mga insights na kung paano nga ba nag-work ang dam sa Pilipinas, which is nag-turn yung kinetic energy into electricity para magamit nila sa mga bahay, communities, and also sa mga pabrika. Yun lang, and thank you.